Hey, we're at the Knott Berry Farm Berry Festival, taking our mom out to a birthday. Here's Bev, here's Rachel. Oh, so Mom, we tried our first dish here, the berry bulgogi, and let us know what you thought about it.
I thought it was very good, and it was subtle with the berry, but it was very savory, and I enjoyed it.
What about you guys? What do you think, Rachel?
I think that there was a subtle sweetness and something about that berry. It's just so dynamic. It had a nice spice to it. I fully enjoyed it. I wish the rice was a little better. The rice seemed too American.
And what about you, Bev?
I thought the meat was outstanding, the flavor delicious. The berry was the perfect note. It was sweet, it was subtle, it was spicy. I agree with Rachel, the rice could have offered more, but all in all, I would give it a high ranking. I would say that it is a solid 9 out of 10.
Woo! And could Rachel, you please? As for me, I thought it was amazing. I think the rice acted as a perfect complement to the bulgogi, and the little berry bowls that you get in there added such an accentuated sweetness that wasn't overbearing, just a light touch that I really enjoyed. So I give it a big thumbs up.
Woohoo! It wasn't overbearing.
We just finished our second bowl of the Taste Tester, the Berry Festival, Knott's Berry Farm. And what was this one, Mom?
This one was the Boysenberry beef brisket over mac and cheese.
And to my surprise, this beat the other one. If I would have had this one first, I would have been overwhelmed with joy because that creaminess, we licked the plate. Look at that. So I give it a 10 plus plus.
10 plus plus.
And what do you think, Rachel?
I agree. I think that's going to be my favorite thing. It's going to be hard to top the whole day, but it was so good. Creamy, the American style beef brisket with just the subtle sweetness of the berry. Beautiful.
And what do you think, Bev?
Absolutely. This one was an easy 10 out of 10 for me. The smoothness in the mac, it was outstanding. Beautifully done, deliciously made. The brisket, it was so good, so smooth, the right amount of texture in it, and that subtle sweetness. It wasn't overwhelming, it wasn't overpowering, an easy 10. Super good.
And I agree wholeheartedly with what everyone said. This was the GOAT, better than the other one, if that's even possible. I would eat this 3 times. So creamy, saucy, perfectly sweet but not too sweet, and very savory. Loved it.
Embodied the spirit of Knott's in that it's American, it's berry, and it's brisket, baby.
American
Can't go wrong.
berry and brisket.
Okay, so we just went and we had the smashed, what was it again?
This is a baked potato, the Boysenberry brisket baked potato.
And we're gonna share our thoughts starting with Mom.
Okay, well, the brisket was very good, but they should have been more generous with it. And the potato itself was not that great. I mean, it could have had a little more butter, a little more something to it. But other than that, I give it a, I think I gave it a 5.
You gave it a 7 originally.
Oh, I did. I give it a 7.
Oh, yeah.
But if I would rethink it, probably 5 because it was so little meat. And the meat was good, but the potato was okay.
All right, Rachel, what do you think?
I gave it a 6.5, I believe. It was good, but it wasn't like, wow, I would get that again, or I will come back for that. It was just like satisfying, and it was nice to get the berry flavor with the mashed potato and brisket for fun, but other than that, mid.
What about you, Bev?
Yeah, so I gave it a 5 out of 10. It was fine, it was good. If you made it at home, it'd be great, but to buy it, it was pretty underwhelming. The sauce was delicious, the brisket was really nice, and the creamed part of the potato was really, really delicious. But again, it was such a small part that the whole thing was ultimately underwhelming. 5 out of 10.
As for me, I know I might look like the follower here, but I agree. The other things tasted like it was worth every cent, but this tasted like you could have made it at home, but better. And the fact you pay money for it,
makes it even more underwhelming. And there's the individual pieces were good, but none of them were elevated to the point where I felt confident in dropping more money on this. So I'm pretty disappointed, and I gave it a 7 originally, but I agree with my mom, or our mom. Okay, that I think I'm dropping it down to a 5 because the longer it sits, the more disappointed I get.
Okay.
We're back with another new dish. These 2 dishes we had were what were they dishes, Mom?
Well, the first one, I don't know what it's called.
The kettle chip brisket nachos with berry cheese.
Yeah, that's kind of a long name, so, I'm 61, so I forgot. But it was really good. I enjoyed it. It was very enjoyable. And then the second one was the chicken little pieces, and this made it. It was like a sriracha boysenberry sauce, and I enjoyed that. And that's about all I've got to say.
All right, what did you think of the 2 dishes, Bev?
Yeah. So the crispy chicken was pretty good. It was not super new. It was kind of unremarkable. It was well cooked. The sauce was nice, but ultimately kind of a free edible bite. I'd give it a 5 out of 10. The other thing was the kettle chip nachos. I enjoyed those. Kettle chip nachos, they were nice, they were unusual, they felt totally unique to this. And so for that reason, I would give them an 8. It was an enjoyable bite. Also, something that you could probably only ever get here, so I enjoyed it.
And what did you think of the 2 dishes, Rachel?
For one, the kettle chip nachos are way up there. I say they're my second favorite. You got the freshness of the pico de gallo. You got the crispy, fresh kettle chips, which I've never had fresh kettle chips before, but they paired well with the brisket, sour cream. You got that hot, savory, fresh, spicy, sweet, all in one bite. And then followed with the wings. Boo! The sauce was good. It tastes like Chick-fil-A sauce, but if I wanted Chick-fil-A, I would have gone there. And the wings were mid.
Oh. Okay, those nachos were amazing. I gave them an 8. I gave them an 8 because it was kind of just fair food, and compared to something like the bulgogi, or especially the mac and cheese and brisket, that slapped. But this was good. But because it's something that's so standard, it didn't really blow me away. But it blew me away enough to where I was like, I enjoyed it, but not something I would get again. But I enjoyed it for the time I got it. The chicken wings, disappointing. First of all, there was no seasoning. They had no flavor at all. They were just kind of bland, crispy chicken. Not mind blown at all. And on top of that, the sauce just was extremely bland in my opinion. I didn't think it had anything special to it at all. So overall, chicken wings, 5 out of 10. And that's my review.
Unashamedly, I licked this plate here. That was a delicious dessert. It's been what I've been waiting for. It had the best of all worlds. It had the ice cream, boysenberry ice cream to add, and a boysenberry sauce, which I love. And then the brioche was just crispy, yet it wasn't too dense. It was crunchy, slightly crunchy, and absorbent of the berry sauce. So I drank it in, I crunched it, I savored it. 10 out of 10.
All right, Rachel, what did you think of the brioche berry ice cream mix?
Pleasantly surprised. The brioche was crisp. It was really, really moist in the center. The boysenberry ice cream, delicious. And there was a lot of berries on top, so I gave that a 9.
And what did you think, Bev?
Absolutely. It was super good. The brioche was really, really nicely done. It was the right level of crispy, airy, and moist. The fact that they filled it with berry sauce, mwah. And the boysenberry ice cream on top was just like the ticket. Yeah, I give it a 9 out of 10 only because I'm not super into sweet, but overall that was delicious. It was absolutely phenomenal. Well done.
Stay at that angle. You look so good. You look so good.
Oh, and
Keep talking like you were turning. Yeah, there you go.
oh, well, okay. Yeah, and I thought it was really good.
I thought it would be too dense, but it actually was perfectly fluffy with a hard shell, but not too hard, of a good crunch. And the ice cream with the berries, the ice cream was really good. It was like a raspberry, boysenberry ice cream. Very flavorful, very creamy. I loved it. And everything together worked really well. I would eat this again, although I will say I still give it a 9 because the funnel cake is still the goat in terms of desserts, but this was great.
That's you. Yeah.
Just went and tried the Knott's Berry Farm chili cheese fries, and now we're gonna hear each of our reviews, starting with Mom, the birthday woman.
Well, I enjoyed them. It was different because it had actual boysenberries in it. Rachel was the lucky one who found that. I gave it a 7 because I would have liked it a little more meaty sauce on top. It had a nice amount, and I would have liked the fries to be a little bit thicker and crispy. And these were crispy, and they're more like string fries, but I enjoyed it. It was good.
And what do you think, Rachel?
Oh my gosh, it was a 9. It wasn't like out the ballpark, but satisfying fully, especially for fair food, festival food. I think the fries were nice and crispy. The meat was good. Really liked the boysenberry sour cream. And they had these nice little crunchies on top. I'm not sure what it was, but it was good.
Tasted like some fried pickle or something.
That might have been what it was. I didn't see it on the card, but...
And what did you think, Beth?
Ooh, yeah. I enjoyed it. It was super delicious. A nice little bite. It was definitely more of like an in-between rather than a meal. I think the chili was super delicious. The fries had a nice light crisp. I give it a solid 7. A solid 7. That feels right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. And I also give it a 7 because, well, it did have a nice crisp to it. And it was very, it was very satisfying, very saucy and flavorful. It tastes like something I could get, at a place like Sam's. Really, like your standard fast food joint. Like it didn't really scream, "Oh, this is special. I can only get it here at Knott's Berry Farm," which is what I really primarily base my rating on. So overall, it was good. I enjoyed it, but I was still looking for a little bit more. We just had 2 new dishes. We had the candied bacon and the churro with the berry ice cream and sauce. And we're going to review it starting with Mom.
Well, the bacon was nice and thick and juicy, but it was overly salty for me, but it was enjoyable. So I think I gave it a 5. And then the churro, I was expecting way more than what I got. It just seemed like underwhelming. It didn't really have any personality. It just was a churro with some powdered sugar and some ice cream with a little berry sauce in it, but it was very faded, so I didn't really enjoy it, so I give it a 4.
And now Rachel's turn.
So I was surprised by the bacon. I heard everyone saying great things about it. I'm not a huge bacon person. My initial bite was like, it's really thick, big cut of bacon, but the more I chewed it, it was smoked, really fatty, super savory, crispy on the outside. I definitely I think I gave it a 9.
Gave it a 9, yeah.
I gave it a 9. And then the churro, I liked the churro, but it was lacking on the crispiness. I like my churros crispy. It was covered in the funnel cake batter, so it kind of took away from it, and I wish there were a little more berries. Yeah.
All right. And now, Bev, what did you think?
Yeah, the bacon I thought was really good. It was a nice thick cut, again, super chunky, really fatty. I really, really liked the chew on it, and I loved the crispiness. It had a nice glaze that was really sugary and crisp. Thought that was delicious. Ultimately, however, I'm not a super big bacon person, and so while I enjoyed it, it wasn't anything that I'd be like, need to come back for. So I gave it a 7. I really liked it, but again, kind of forgettable for me. The berry churro, I gave a 5 because as a churro, it was great. As a berry churro, it was nice, but it was kind of lacking on some of its promises. It under-delivered and over-promised, I feel like. All that to say is I think we've had other better desserts. Still enjoyable, but ultimately forgettable.
All right. And, well, the candy bacon was thick, it was fatty, it was juicy, it was smoky, and I really liked it. I'm a bacon guy through and through. So I give that one a 9. But when it comes to the churro, it was okay. But in terms of something that could be very good, like lots of like berry flavor, it was lacking, and it didn't feel that special. It was just kind of okay, and I wasn't really blown away by it, but I still enjoyed it, so I give it a 7. Just finished the meatball, mashed potatoes, and boysenberry gravy, and now we're gonna share our thoughts, starting with Mom.
Very tangy, sweet gravy sauce. Very enjoyable. The meatballs were okay. They weren't like over the top for me. It was the sauce that made it for me, and the mashed potatoes were good. I'd give it a 7.
All right, and now we're going with Beverly.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the sauce a lot. I thought that was probably the strongest feature. The meatballs, they were a good size. They had a nice texture. I think that they could have had a little bit extra texture in it, so it wasn't just like the beef. Like if it had like a little bit of like onion in there, that would have been a little bit nicer. But ultimately, like it was all playing host to the sauce. The sauce was the boss. It was so good. Mashed potatoes were pretty good, but I would give it around the same level as the bulgogi with the rice. It wasn't doing so much. It was just a supporting act. Ultimately, I'd give it an 8. It was good. I enjoyed it more than I thought.
Yeah, 8.
Right.
That's pretty positive. I think it was good, but I would give it a 6.5, only for the fact of I think the mashed potatoes had a nice consistency. The meatballs had a nice consistency, but they were they weren't very flavorful. All the flavor did come from the sauce. The sauce was where it was at, but also it wasn't like hitting it for me. So 6.5.
That's good.
And as for me, I agree with Bev. The sauce was the boss. It was the perfect amount of tangy and sweet, where I just and saltiness. I really liked it. With the mashed potatoes, they were okay, but they were a little chunky for me. I like creamy mashed potatoes, and these ones were not that to my liking. I mean, they were good, but they weren't the texture I liked. On top of that, the meatballs, they were okay, but at the same time, they were underwhelming because they kind of tasted like something I could have made at home in the microwave. And I feel like I would have preferred them to be like freshly made taste, and maybe they were, maybe they weren't, I don't know, but that's what they taste like to me. So overall, I'd give it a score of like 7 because the sauce was that good.
The sauce is really good.
It was really tangy.
Here we are with the final review of our berry festival. Woo! And we had, what did we have, Mom?
Well, it was kind of like a sushi roll, but it wasn't a sushi roll. It was a dessert, and it had some kind of a sweet, creamy center. I don't know if it was a cheesy, what was it? I don't know. But with berry sauce, and it looked adorable. I love that it looked like you were eating sushi. So for the artistic, I give it a high point, and it had some kind of chocolatey flavor in it. And it had some interesting, textures and tastes. But 7.5. It wasn't like, whoa, but it was good.
All right, now it's Rachel's turn.
I gave it a 7. Super rich. Loved the presentation. Nice balance between the berry and the cream, and the sponge cake definitely reminded me of my sister's sponge cakes. She always makes like what are they called? Yule logs. So it reminded me of that. I liked it, and I gave it a 7.
All right, and what did you think, Bev?
Yeah, I also gave it a 7. I really liked it. I totally agree with Rachel. It reminded me a lot of our sister's sponge cake that she makes, her Yule logs. Loved the look of it. The design of it was really charming. And I think the flavor was really nice. It was really rich, really sweet. Had kind of a nice little like sourness that I actually really liked underneath that I think was the yogurt. I don't know what it was.
but it was really good. It was also a bit too much for me. It was a little rich, and I'm not super sweet driven, so I give it a 7. High points for flavor and presentation, dock points because it's quite rich, quite rich.
All right, and now, what did I think? Well, I gotta be honest, I was kind of disappointed about this one. It was a little too rich for me. I thought it was just really thick, and the cream that was in this cake, or what do you call that? The roll, we'll just call it roll. It was too yogurty tasting to me. It had a weird sour note that I was not a fan of. I was just like, eh. The berries did add a nice tartness to it, but overall the actual cake roll itself was just kind of bland to me, and I wasn't very impressed by this, so I'm giving this one a 6.
6. And that is it. Dun, 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 dun. Happy berry birthday, Mom!
I loved it. Thank you guys.
Mwah.